Red Cup Talk with Brian Adams. Let's get into it. No, we're not getting into it. Just hit that like button and subscribe to my channel so you can be up to date with content as I drop it. Let's continue to grow this channel together. When I was coming up, we were taught, and I ain't gonna say just me, we all was taught that. We was taught that somebody hit you, you hit them back. But recently I was told that that's old school. That's the old school way of doing it. So I'm kind of confused. Like, what's the norm now? What are you telling what are you telling the kids now? Honestly, I really want to know that. What are you telling them? Like, I'm confused because it was that way. And even then, kids didn't really, because you had some that didn't want to defend themselves or didn't want to. Yeah, that's what it is defending yourself. What are you telling them nowadays? How to defend themselves? No, I'm sorry. What I was corrected. Let me bring this up. I was corrected, and I was told that you don't tell them if somebody hits you, you hit them back. If you tell them if somebody hits you, you tell the teacher, or if somebody hits you, you tell an adult. But it's never cool if somebody hits you. It's never cool for you to hit them back. And that was from that one of African American descent too. So it wasn't like it wasn't anything about that. It was just conversation. So, and I just thought it was kind of interesting because I never heard that before. This was recently. This is 2025. This is April what, 4th, 3rd, 4th, 2025. And I just was curious as to if that was correct, or if she was just being her, or if this is really a thing of the thing. And the way I was taught is just a thing of the past. If that's the case, that's fine too. I just was kind of curious about that because it's always stuck out with me. But anyway, Red Cup with Brian Adams. We are just doing it. We're doing it. It's Saturday, Red Cup with Brian Adams, and we made it through this week. I don't know how it was for you, but for me, it was a cool week. It was closing and opening because I'm in the accounting field, so we do the it's the first of the month, so that's very important in my space. The work I do, So yeah, we are going to wind down this weekend. I'm chilling. I don't really have no plans. I know one was there. This was also spring break week last week for people in Florida, or for the students in Florida. So who knows how this is going to come this weekend? I don't know. I'm relaxing this weekend. No plans. If something happens, oh well, I'll take it. But for the most part, no plans in my book. How about yours? Moving right along. So yeah, man, that was crazy. They was talking about that Monique. I was like, man, I don't think nothing wrong with Monique. If somebody owed you some damn money, somebody owed me $40, and I'm waiting, because sometimes, like, when people borrow money, like with me, I don't know, I can't speak for everybody, but when people borrow from me sometimes, I don't hunt people down. I just take mental notes because I know that, like, I have people that owe me money, and I can always use those people that owe, they usually come back and they want more. So I can always say, don't you owe me from before? And it's wild because I don't can see even down here, but it's across the board the same way. So that's the strategy that I use. I've been using that for years. Not to say I'm the money man, because I have people. I've had times where my ends didn't meet, and I had to borrow myself, or get help, or however you look at it. There's nothing wrong with that, and it's cool to have a dope team where you guys are on a level where you can do that. But when I've had the ones in the past that owed me and didn't pay me back all of it, and it's usually not nothing major, not like millions of dollars like Monique is allegedly saying that Tyler Perry got in the way of her making those bags. That's different. $40, $50. You know, like I said, some of that I've washed up. I can't do nothing about that. You know, there's more issues. They call me talking about some a loved one has passed away and they need help with something. That's something different. But normally, though, the ones that do owe, I normally will just let you know kindly, hey, you still got money on the books. That's what they do anyway in the booking companies back in the day. Hey, you still got money on the books. What are we talking about? You know, so yeah, I kind of stay out of it. I don't even have conversation about money. I don't have that conversation with people outside because I feel like some things are just personal. I hear people quite often they be talking about their pay. Group of guys, nothing for a group of guys. We're sitting around talking, or we're taking a road trip somewhere, or just in an enclave space where it's just us, where we can get vulnerable a little bit. Pause, but and they bring up this salary because that's a big thing amongst the guys. That's the talk about alongside sports and stuff like that. How much you're making, not necessarily how much you're making, but what are you doing and where you at in the workspace. And sometimes that can draw down to displaying your salary and stuff like that. I just kind of never got close to it. I never got into that space. I usually shy away from it. If I'm in it and I'm leading the conversation and it goes that way, normally it's not gonna go that way if I'm leading the conversation, but if it just so happened to do so like it's done in the past, I'll shy away from it. Just not something I want to talk about. And it's not normally because when I see people or, compare theirs to mine mentally, I'll be like, wow, how are they doing all this with that? And vice versa. But I realize that people don't budget. And I don't know if that's just with our community. Is it a community thing, or if it's just a day and age thing where there's a new generation type situations going on? But people don't seem to budget like I was taught the budget. I was taught the budget before I was even to school. This is how you write out a checkbook. This is how you balance a checkbook. And I know we use checks as a let's say residents, but as regular people don't use checkbooks as much as they did in the past. And I get that everything is debit card, credit card, swipe it. But it's always good to know how to do that. Just like I think they say they took away the cursive writing. The dumbest thing ever. Why take away? If anything, you're supposed to add to the curriculum, not take away from it. You're not supposed to. I never understood that. I would love to get into a space to research that more, so I'm not going to really expound on it too much, but I never understood what was the purpose of them taking away cursive handwriting in the school system. I never understood that. I still write cursive. I sign my name cursive. How do you sign your name if you're not writing cursive? You just write your name? That's barbaric-ish. Ish. Red, come talk with Brian Adams, man. There's some stuff to talk about. You'd be like, what in the world? I gotta turn the air on. Hold 1 second, y'all, because I'm sweating. I ain't even turned the air on. Don't you go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. I just gotta turn this air on. As a matter of fact, I just turn the AC on. I mean the fan on. Get some air, because it's hot. I'm getting warm. Whoa. Yeah. It's getting warm down here. This is April, so we're going into hopefully watermelon season soon. I don't know about you. Brian Adams love watermelon. I wish I could just squeeze a hole, make a hole, draw a hole, get down into a piece of water. Shrink my size down, not for long, but just for like maybe an hour. Shrink down to really, really small, minute size and get into a watermelon, just swim around, just eat and shrink and chunk. And that's the little fat boys in my stomach talking now. That's crazy, right? Wake up, talk with Brian Adams, man. Let's do it. So what y'all got planned for this weekend? What you got planned? Put it in the comments. Let's talk about it. Let's open up something. Let's get engaged. Let's get it going. What we got planned. But anyway, getting back to it. Monique, yeah, I would be upset too. And I know I was reading somewhere where they were saying, Monique, you're sitting there letting them bringing this back up again. And, of course, with the passing of Angie Stone and her services and all that, and I will have to, in Monique's defense, she didn't do that at the funeral. Some people was talking like she was at the funeral talking like that. This was way after that. And Monique did give her honors to Angie Stone. So I just didn't understand it. I know it's a little older, but I just wanted to bring that up, like give my 2 cents on it. That didn't hurt. Uh, I I agree with Monique. Somebody owe you money, especially in the terms of how she explained it on uh, Shannon Sharp, the podcast, his podcast. And she was about, matter of fact, I think she did like, what, 18 million views at the end of the year? Because I was checking hers when I did Cat Williams and all that. Cat Williams hit like 80 million views or something. I wonder, how do you calculate how much that money converts to? Wow. That's a lot of money. I mean, that would be a lot of money. 80 million views. I see what 20 or 30 or 40 million views get you. So I can imagine 80 million. Yeah. And he's still going. He recently had Dwayne and his brothers on, which I'm going to check it out later on today. That'll give me something to do today, too. Something relaxing. I'm going to order a watermelon later. Well, order watermelon this morning after I do this, and I'll have it delivered and then chilled so I can eat that, and I'll watch that podcast show. But yeah, I would be upset too. So I agree with Monique. Keep it going. Keep it going. Now, one thing I will say is, Miss Monique, in defense of everybody that don't agree with you, I would say that maybe we should figure out a very fine result, and then go with that and move on. Because as you continue to waddle in this, you don't want this to be your brand, that you're attacking Tyler Perry, and you went your whole career, the rest of your career, just attacking Tyler Perry and Oprah, and they ignored you. But my thing is, what if Oprah was a respond? Could you imagine what that would be like? Could you, though? Could you really imagine what that would be like if Oprah Winfrey and Monique went at it? I mean, not physically, but just... Sorry. And it wouldn't be the new Oprah. It'd have to be the old... I'm picturing the old Oprah from the Color Purple type Oprah, the short, you told Harpo to beat me Oprah. Not this new, skinny, fragile, big wig, posh Oprah. That's what I picture, just going at it. Write letters back and forth, or they do open letters back and forth, or they're Instagramming back and forth. I mean, her attorneys are getting in touch with her attorneys, and her attorneys are attacking her attorneys, and they're just back and forth, and they're trying to make a case. And they was at a major ball gala or something, and woo, that was a sight to see. It was televised too. It was a sight to see, but nothing happened. It was just all a big spew just to get ratings. But I would love to see Oprah respond to Monique. I would. That would be some cool shit. Could you imagine how that would be? Because I know what would happen. Because you got to think about it. Ain't Oprah from like Chicago or somewhere? Ain't she from Chicago? Tennessee? Tennessee. Oh, she's from Tennessee. Well, she's still down there in the gutter. She's still down. She get dirty with them, get rowdy with them. Of course, Monique is from Baltimore. So Baltimore, Tennessee. Yeah, that would be Tennessee Titans and Baltimore Ravens. That would be something. That would be really, really something if Monique was to respond. I mean, if Oprah was to respond to Monique. Imagine what she'd say. Bitch, all these motherfucking years I've been holding it down, keeping it quiet. And you want to say, what? That would be crazy. But all right, y'all. I'm not going to... I just know that if she do respond, y'all know I'm going to be right on it. I'm going to be on it. If Oprah Winfrey responds to Monique and they go back and forth, could you imagine? They would have to do that at the end of the year. That would be a good way to close the year out. Oprah Winfrey responded, and she shut the shit down. That would be amazing, man. That would be amazing. Um, and Monique, and then but Tyler would never say anything. Tyler or what's the other guy? Lee Daniels. Lee Daniels responded though. He did respond to Monique though, right? Remember he apologized to her on stage. So with Lee Daniels apologized, but see, I don't think Lee Daniels was pretty much team Tyler Perry and Oprah because if you remember. I remember. I remember. I'm gonna say you remember. I remember. Listen, I I remember one time hearing that Lee Daniels was a little flaky with Tyler Perry because he felt like Tyler Perry was trying to still take his project or get more money off the project or something than it should have been. So I don't know how that if that was true allegedly. I'm gonna say that allegedly. I don't know how true that was, but I do remember hearing that. I think that was actually Monique that told me about that. Not told me per se, but there's video out there where Monique was talking about that, where Lee Daniels was like, "Bitch, they trying to take my shit. Tyler Perry gonna, trying to take my shit or something." So I don't think contractually, yeah, but I don't think outside of contracts work, non-contractual stuff going on here. I don't think that Tyler Perry and Lee Daniels was hanging like that. I don't think they hang. I don't think they in the same space. So I don't think it was Lee Daniels, Tyler Perry, and Monique, and I think she said Lionsgate. I don't think allegedly. I don't think it was all of them teaming up on her. I think it was just her calling them out as not playing fair in the court that she was trying to play fair in or trying to play in. I think that's what was going on. So, but Lee Daniels did apologize. He came up on stage at one of her shows or something and apologized and spoke his piece. And then Monique later on said that Lee Daniels apologized to her kids. And I thought that was interesting. Even if that wasn't true, I thought that was interesting to have to run with that narrative and let that go like that. I was like, wow. Did he give him some money? Like, what is this? Because it's making me wonder now, is it an apology that you're looking for? Or what is it that you're looking for that you're trying to label as an apology? Because I know, like, sort of like how Diddy says parties. Party is one thing. I've thrown a lot of parties. Everybody's thrown parties. You know how to throw a party. But just to use the verbiage of saying, hey, let's party. We have a party together. Let's go party. It's like, okay, well, I look at party as an event, not as a, I don't know. I look at it as an event. So I don't get it. What Monique was saying with this, what she was getting at. And that's why I was saying with party. I'm just analyzing. Follow me here. Follow me. Stay with me. Stay with me. But I don't know what Monique was, what she's really meaning when she says like she wants to that they were doing her wrong. They weren't playing fair with her. Like, I don't get it. Because if everything is contractual, then it seemed like there would be lawsuits in place too. I know one interview they asked Monique about money. I think it was Shannon Sharp that asked lawsuits or something. And she was like, no, you know what it is. You know what you do. You know what you've done. And I was like, that's interesting. Why not get the lawyers involved? If it's that much money, why not get the $30,000 and it's for me and somebody getting away from me getting that bag? I'm suing them. Other actions could take place, but for the most part, on paper, on wax, I'm suing them because I want my money. So when Monique was like, she didn't want, she was like, no, I don't need to sue and get the lawyers involved. She didn't say, allegedly, she didn't say no lawyers sue, but she said, no, it's the purpose of getting the lawyers involved and getting, I thought that was kind of interesting. almost makes me wonder what I'm going into with this next segment. Kanye West. All the best to you, Monique. Okay, get your money, baby. If they ain't paid you, keep doing it. But like I said, come up with a resolution or something so that we can move on. You don't want this to be branded as you just going at them all the time. You know. And keep your guards up because Monique, Oprah may respond. And you don't want her to respond. You thinking that you just big mouthing her, bad mouthing her, and she ain't gonna say nothing. And she gonna catch you off guard and then wear you down. Then she win the battle, and you out the picture totally. And that's you and your career. You know what I'm saying? You don't want that. So stay on cue, stay on point, keep your shit up, and keep your chin up. Keep your head on the swivel. All right, moving on. Kanye West and Bianca Censori. I never thought that they was gonna actually take it this far. To be honest with you, remember when they did the back and was last year I think it was, and they had the boat trip, and they had pictures of Bianca giving Kanye West head on the boat, but Kanye West had his ass out, look like his sweatpants or something like that. I don't know, but I didn't think that was gonna last. I thought that was just like you know how when you sometimes I don't do it now, but I've done it before in the past. You break up with somebody, sometimes you need something to keep you occupied, keep your feelings occupied, keep your that void occupied, even if it's not a good occupation. You want to keep yourself occupied with somebody. Well, I thought that's what they were going to be doing. Kanye West was doing with Bianca Censori, considering the fact that after he broke up, him and Miss Kardashian broke up. I didn't think that Bianca was going to last as long, but she did. She lasted a while. She don't smile much, but bringing you all the way up to date now. Bianca has left Kanye. Right? They're saying that she's left. She's left him. She left him, and he's tracking her through an app. I guess she got one of the Maybachs or something like that. She's gone. But I was wondering if this was, again, staged. Because, Hollywood's slick. Entertainment is just what it is. It's entertainment. I was wondering if it's staged, like they say, okay, well, guess what? I got this album coming up. I want you to break up with me. Take the Maybach, do that. I'm going to write about it, la, 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 la. And she's over at her sister's house staying for a few months until this album sells. And then she comes back home. They go back to normal life, and he go back to Adidas deals and all that stuff, and doing this regular thing. I wonder if all this is really scripted, like the lifestyle and everything. Because it's amazing how I say that. The reason I say this is because it's amazing how timing. You know what I'm saying? Timing. I remember at one point, Jay-Z. I would say this. I never thought that Jay-Z cared for Kanye West. Because when you think about way back, like I said, I've always been in the hip hop space. I've been in the hip hop space for a long, long, long time. And I remember some of the stuff that was going on from back in the day. And I remember, business-wise, yeah, Kanye West and Jay-Z, all of them worked good together, worked very well together. In that time, the Neptunes, all of them, they were doing their thing. Snoop, all of them was making that money. And Kanye West is a good producer, he's a good artist, everything. I don't know. I guess as far as, I don't know. I can't get into it because I'm not part of it. It's not, I'm allegedly, all this is allegedly. But it seems that from the interviews, the conversations, everything I've always observed, Jay-Z never really cared for Kanye West. Yay. I just think it was just always just business stuff. When you think about it, Kanye West did that thing at the award show when he went up on stage and took the mic and said that Beyonce should have won it. And I was kind of like imagine one of your friends doing that, drunk and doing that. You'll be like, come on, man. And that might just be something that you pile on from a list of other stuff that he's done that was awkward or quirky. that we didn't even know about. So y'all can see that riding limousine home, or or however, sitting in that space where you always doing this shit. You done this before. You done this at this one. You done that when I come on. And then and then of course Kanye West, he does this thing where I'm assuming it's because of his mental illness. And don't get me wrong, I'm not criticizing or judging, because I mean I've been in space with people with mental illness. Hell, I've even dated, so and I've experienced something myself. So I get it. I'm not saying taking no points away. You can still do your thing and still be very successful. Um, and you also have to keep in mind, just in general, one level above somebody that's a genius is a psycho person. That's the next level from that. It's a psycho. So just keep that in mind. I'm not probably not saying exactly how it should be worded, but paraphrasing pretty much from what I remember reading in school. The next level from a genius is a psycho. You go psycho. So I don't know what Kanye West level is. I don't know. I just know that he's very good what he does. He's very good. He's making money, for Christ's sake. I seen an interview with him and DJ Academics, and he interviewed him standing up, and I think that wasn't planned, but I think that wasn't planned on purpose, because he wanted to give off that he does things off the natural. But I don't think everything is done off the natural in this world. That's why I think that Bianca with the Maybach is gone and she's doing a thing. He's saying he's not going to sleep and he's going to be up until she gets home, and he's going to pretty much do things to torture himself because of her absence. Hell, she probably could have been the one that helped him write this. You know what I'm saying? It's all entertainment. So, but then at the end, then again, at the end of the day, sometimes truth do become the light. Hopefully, somebody is looking at Kanye and checking up on him, because he is saying that she was saying that he should check himself in, and she was close to him. So if she's closer to us. She's closer. Bianca Sensori is closer to him than most of us are, right? She's closer to him than all of us are. So if he's telling us that she's telling him that he need to check himself in, Red Cup Talk with Brian Adams. Let's get into it. No, we're not getting into it. Just hit that like button and subscribe to my channel so you can be up to date with content as I drop it. Come on, Adams family. Let's continue to grow this channel together.